You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show podcast on KPEL965.com.
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Breaux Bridge, Lafayette, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pros studios. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
A lot more Americans were hired last month. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The November jobs report came in better than expected, much better than a month ago.
Employers added 227,000 jobs, topping the forecast. October's disappointing number, affected by hurricanes and strikes, was revised up to 36,000 from the initial read of 12,000.
And Fox's Lillian Wu also reports
the unemployment rate edged higher to 4.2% as expected.
Now, despite that increase of 0.1% from October, President Biden just put out a statement that unemployment's been the lowest on average of any administration in 50 years, saying we're making progress for working families. Of course, next month, President-elect Trump will take over in the White House. Melania will be First Lady again. She tells Fox,
I see that the country and the people really support him, and they support him. He's focused to make this country great again.
Now, President-elect Trump posted on Truth Social this morning he keeps backing Pete Hegseth, and he'll be a fantastic defense secretary who has more support than the fake news would have you believe. Amid sexual misconduct and other allegations, Hegseth has spent days meeting with Republican senators ahead of next month's confirmation hearing. He told reporters,
"This will not be a process tried in the media. I don't answer to anyone in this group. None of you. Not to that camera at all."
New York City police out searching a third day for the masked gunman who murdered United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside a Manhattan hotel. Now, he's been seen unmasked in surveillance video, and they believe he came to New York on a bus last week.
Investigators are also looking at that cell phone. So he dropped a burner phone in the alley before he went off and got on a electric bike and took off into Central Park. That could also be key here.
Fox's Alexis McAdams is near the murder scene in New York. The FAA has issued temporary flight restrictions over a military base in New Jersey and near the Trump Bedminster Golf Club after reports of drones flying overhead in recent days. America's listening to Fox News.
I know it's hard to believe, but Christmas is right around the corner. And if you're thinking about what gift to get the firearms enthusiast that may be on your list this year, I highly recommend. I love this company. The rifles, the shotguns, the revolvers, made right here in America by our friends at Henry Repeating Arms. Now, they've got 200 models to choose from, a wide variety of calibers and styles and prices, and you cannot go wrong with any of them. They're a great company. The easiest way to check out Henry's Firearms is to get a copy of their free holiday gift guide. Just go to their website. It's henryusa.com. Click on the catalog button in the top right-hand corner. They will mail the gift guide and a few decals, and it won't cost you a penny. So if you want to put something made in America under your Christmas tree, make sure you order the free gift guide and get free decals from Henry USA today. That's henryusa.com for a free gift guide and decals. henryusa.com. You're going to love.
Get ready for something fresh and exciting with the Josh Guillory Show. Josh Guillory brings a new perspective to the airwaves, analyzing news and issues coming out of Baton Rouge in Washington, D.C., and breaking down how they affect you. Engaging, raw, and informative, Guillory knows how to have fun while delivering the latest in politics and current events. With daily features that entertain and inform, you won't want to miss a single episode. The Josh Guillory Show, 4 p.m., Monday through Friday, only on News Talk 96.5, KPEL. Wow.
Hey, everyone, let's all stop what we're doing and take a moment. You see? Every moment can be kind of special. But they can be loud moments, goofy moments, dorky moments. It doesn't matter. Because every time dads like us take a moment like that to spend with our kids, well, it's pretty momentous. So let's take a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Bikers Against Child Abuse empowers children to not feel afraid of the world in which they live. For more information, visit BACAworld.org. Our helpline is 866-885-9474. BACA, breaking the chains of abuse.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champines, located in the Oil Center. Champines, going the extra mile.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Y'all all welcome Moon Griffon Show. It is great to be with you. 844-766-6607 is the number if you'd like to be part of the program. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. Open forum, but there you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's your opportunity. Folks, and something we didn't concentrate on was it's election day tomorrow. You know, I'll be honest with you. I almost forgot. I got 4 amendments to go vote for, okay? And that's it. And the turnout's going to be horrendous, but not in Baton Rouge. And Baton Rouge, you know, Sid Edwardson, the incumbent mayor of Baton Rouge, who really needs to be beat. For the fine folks in that area, it really needs to be beat bad. And you get rid of a bad elected official, and that's always a good thing, Republican and Democrat. And so you go, well, this guy ain't got no experience. Yeah, no, a guy named Donald Trump didn't have none either. He's won twice. And he now knows what he really needs to do. And so that's a good thing. But that race right there could really, really be something that people would turn out and understand what they're trying to do over there. That could really change the way things are operated. And, you know, and I love I love Louisiana, and I love Baton Rouge. I was born and raised in Plaquemine. I was born in a hospital in Baton Rouge. I went to high school, a place called Redemptorist High School in Baton Rouge. And shout out to my old alumni because there's no Redemptorist High School anymore. But I was at Plaquemine High School for Plaquemine School and Plaquemine High School my whole time till I transferred. You know, I mean, it's just I want Baton Rouge to succeed and do well. I know St. George's got their own city now, and they're fighting that because of this mayor, and they ought not be doing that. I mean, the courts have ruled, and they're still having to go through a fight, and it's ridiculous. And that has a lot to do with who's running the city there. You know? It is what it is. And I'm just telling y'all it's a great opportunity for people to go vote. It's just an awesome opportunity, and you can beat a bad candidate by a bad elected official. And so I don't care if you're black or white, Democrat, Republican. You got to give somebody else a shot to get something done. Personally, I think getting rid of Ted James is a blessing. But how about getting rid of this lady and putting somebody in that can at least go in with an open mind and take a look at everything that's going on, what's good and the bad. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with making change, folks. I mean, you got to try something that hadn't been done yet. And I think this is one of the areas. I didn't stick my nose in the race, and I'm really not. I'm just saying if it was me, I mean, I'd go vote for Sid Edwards, and I'd smile about it the whole way. But that's tomorrow. I mean, we have elections tomorrow, so you may not have I know there's other places where they've got some other elections. I'm just saying we need to go vote. And Walker, when you wake up Saturday morning, you go vote. I'm going to go vote when I get up Saturday morning. I'm going to ease over there. I'll take Miss Maddie, and when my bride gets up, whatever time that is, we'll ease over there and go vote Saturday. So I need to remind her to remind me because if you notice, folks, it's not like unless you're in the Baton Rouge area. I don't know of anybody that's got all these ads running. I saw an ad for Amendment number 1 last night for the first time. So, and that's when it hit me. I said, oh, my God, I forgot. I got to go vote Saturday, and I don't want to miss it. Okay, if I miss it, that's on me. Shame on me if I miss going to vote Saturday. And I'm talking about myself. If you only got amendments, at least take part in it. If you don't understand the constitutional amendments, I tell people vote no because it's going in the Constitution. If you understand it and you like them, vote yes. You know, I've had people on here to talk about it, but I'm just laying it out there. We got to go vote, especially in the Baton Rouge area. But I'm gonna say all over the state. Just take your time. Look, there's not going to be a lot of people go vote, and I know that. So if that's the case, why don't you take the time to go vote? By the time you drive in, walk in, and walk out, you probably will be talking about 5 minutes. 5 minutes at the most, and that's probably long because of my gut feelings. If I go Saturday morning, now this is a statewide deal. This is not federal. Somebody correct me. I think it's 7 to 8 is the election time. I know, you vote, 6 to 8 has been, I know that, but they made a change dealing with statewide election. So if I'm wrong, somebody please correct me. It don't matter that many people wouldn't go at 6 o'clock anyway. But anyway, all I'm saying is if you get a chance to make sure you vote. And you ought to take the time to do it. And people that voted early, okay, so Saturday's the election day, and you go, well, I'm going to a football game. I'm going to be out of town. You should have voted early then. People that voted early, they don't have to even think about it tomorrow because their vote's already in. But I didn't vote. So if I don't vote tomorrow, that's me. That's 100% on me. And I'll be ashamed if I don't go vote. I really will. I'll be embarrassed. Somebody's like, you didn't vote. I didn't see where you voted. Well, I don't want nobody to tell me that. So I've made a note in my phone. Matter of fact, I think my phone, I'll go back and check real quick right here while I'm talking with y'all. Okay, December 7th. Okay, add, vote, today is in my phone. It's popping up tomorrow to remind me. That's all you got to do, put it in your phone. Just go vote, please. And people in the Baton Rouge, boy, y'all got a chance to send a message. St. George people got a chance to send a message. You know, you got to have somebody in the city of Baton Rouge that's going to work with you. And I think Edwards would work with you. If he's wrong, he'll probably challenge you. That's okay. Football coaches a lot of times become principals and superintendent in schools because of their quality of being leaders. Okay? Donald Trump was a leader because he was a leader in business. But it's the same concept, discipline and leadership. Why doesn't that go from coaching to being an elected official? It does. It does. So he could have an opportunity to change up what's going on. And we need, I'll be honest with y'all, a little different than most people. We need the city of New Orleans and city of Baton Rouge and Shreveport and these big cities to do well in our state. We do. We need them to do well. We don't just need them to function. And every time we go, well, that city's going to vote the wrong way. But we need them to function because I'm going to tell you what, outside of the state of Louisiana, when people hear about Louisiana, they hear mostly about these big cities, especially Baton Rouge and New Orleans. They'll cut on Shreveport. Shreveport's a big city, too. But that's what they hear about mostly. But when they're doing good, that's what we need them to hear. I'm telling y'all, you can send shockwaves to the political establishment in Baton Rouge and New Orleans if people would get up and just go vote and say, I've had enough of what I've been watching, and go make a change. This is a change that would be awesome. Awesome. What if he fails? Okay, so he's going, if he fails, what about the mayor you got right now? Has she been highly successful? Is she doing great? It's just opportunity, man. What an opportunity. Anyway, I hope and pray. By the way, later in the program at 10 o'clock, somebody from the Tax Foundation, they got in touch with me. They want to talk a little bit about what Governor Landry and the legislature passed, the good, the bad, the ugly. There's a lot of good. And they can talk about what still needs to be done. We'll have them on. Tim Metcalf stop in for Prejean's and Dino's. At 11 o'clock, Jason Isaac with the American Energy Foundation will come in what's going on in the Trump administration, what's going on with the energy and things of that nature. We'll get a chance to visit with him at the 11 o'clock hour. So I've got all that as a program. I'm trying to avoid doing anything on Psycho Bill Cassidy. Well, at least no more than one small segment. How about that? Because there's more to come out. Barack Obama, you ain't going to believe what he said. It's about 50 seconds. I got to play it. Nobody wants to control our lives more than Barack Obama. And Barack Obama is going to turn it around. He's doing the Saul Lewinsky. Accuse other people of what you've been doing. Accuse other people of wrongdoing that you've already been doing. Barack Obama would control every part of our life if he could. He's the one that said he wanted a military workforce in the state, in the United States of America, just as powerful as the military, that he could control us. He also wants only a couple news information, and that's the facts, and that's it. He wanted to control. He's turning that around on the Republicans. And he never mind cheating in elections. He never has. He never will. He never brought up all the cheating that went on under Biden with the mail-in ballots. But you ain't going to believe what this idiot said. I mean, Obama's nuts. He's a psycho, Satan's brother. But I'll get to that as the program unfolds. And also, did y'all see the numbers on the Louisiana public school enrollment? Wow. Wow. I mean, it's just like, but here's the thing. You know what, and I'll get to this in a little bit. The telling part of that they forgot to mention in the Devil's Advocate was all this bad stuff that was going on with schools and the number of students that are not there, all happened over the last 8 years. Who was the governor for the last 8 years? Anybody want to take a guess at that? Who was the governor in Louisiana for the last 8 years? That and also 7 GOP senators most likely to stand between Trump and his dream cabinet. One of them happens to be a senator from Louisiana. I just wonder who. There's only 2. I wonder which one stands in the way of stopping Trump. I wonder which one. All right, we got all that and more coming up. We're going to take a break. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. And yes, I'm giving away Cane River pecans. Got 6 more chances to win today through next Friday. Email me, moon@moongriffon.com. Say you want to win. Make sure you got a physical address. Somebody's going to walk away a winner today. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. When you think about how you'll spend your money in retirement, what comes to mind? Probably travel, sunny beaches, and spoiling your grandchildren. But a recent survey found that over 30% of every dollar a retiree spends goes to taxes. Baby boomers were told for years to save money in their IRAs and 401ks and pay taxes later. Well, now that day has arrived, and boomers are shocked to see a third of their money going back to Uncle Sam. John Blanchard and the Matthew James Financial Group can help. What if you could protect all or most of your retirement wealth from future tax rate increases? Achieve a 0 or near 0 effective tax rate for most of your retirement years. Find out more. 337-366-8366. Isn't it time you got a second opinion on your wealth and retirement outlook? Learn how you could potentially kick the IRS out of your IRA. 337-366-8366 and online at MatthewJames.com. Folks, I've turned to Cane River Pecan Company for my personal holiday gifts for so long, I can't even remember when we started. The ordering is so easy, and the compliments I receive last all year long. They featured an outstanding selection of flavored pecans, pralines, and their famous boudin pie. And I love working with another family-owned Louisiana-based company. Trust me, folks, you got to give some pecans from Cane River Pecan Company. Look them up online at caneriverpecan.com. Now open our new pie bar, a 55-seat cafe on Main Street in New Iberia's historic district. Hey, folks, happy holidays from Ragin' Cajun Original Cajun Seasoning. This year's Ragin' Cajun is offering free shipping to our listeners of all Ragin' Cajun food orders over $25. Just go to Ragin' Cajun's website, acadianakitchen.com, and enter the coupon code MOON at the checkout. That's coupon MOON at acadianakitchen.com and get free shipping on all your Ragin' Cajun food orders over $25. Ragin' Cajun Original Cajun Seasoning. I love it. Your friends and family will too. Send me some Ragin' Cajun for the holidays. Coupon code MOON.
For electric.
Hi, hello, welcome back. It is the Moon Griffon Show. What a day, what a great day to be with you. Open Forum Friday, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. All yours, folks. If you want to be part of the program, 844-766-6607 is the number. You can email me, moon@moongriffon.com. Give away Cane River pecans. Anyway, by the way, this is, so President Trump's trying to get his cabinet's put together, and folks, they ought to vote for every one of them. I mean, the Republicans got to wake up. And then you read the story. 7 GOP senators most likely to stand between Trump and his dream cabinet. Why are they doing this, man? Didn't they see the vote? Okay. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, Tulsi Gabbard, Robert Kennedy, and Kash Patel, who Trump chose to run the FBI, are the ones that they just trying to run. The Democrats and the media trying to, why would any Republican walk with nuts? I'll name the Republicans for you. Facing opposition, Susan Collins from Maine, Lisa Murkowski, who won in the weirdest way you can vote ever. South Dakota Senator Mike Rounds. South Dakota Senator John Thune, Mitch McConnell. Oh, and there's one more. Louisiana Senator Psycho Bill. Psycho. I still think Psycho's got to vote with Trump. Psycho is not going to be Mr. Tuffy now that Trump's coming back. Psycho Bill is one of the problems, folks, right here in the state of Louisiana. In a state that went 62% for Trump. I cannot believe Psycho Bill would make a bad vote. It's hard for me to believe Psycho Bill would do this. I really is, folks. He's up for re-election. Mitch McConnell, the turtle, is gone. This is it for him. Okay? Well, he ain't running for re-election again. Murkowski just won Maine or Collins. They left us. I don't understand the South Dakota Senator Mike Rounds. And then Thune is getting ready to be Senate, who was elected in November to take over the Senate leadership. So I'm trying to understand why any of these people would do this. So they mentioned, now this is what they mentioned. This is an article I'm reading. Psycho Bill, they say Cassidy, but as you know, Cassidy, who serves as chairman of the Senate Committee on Health, Education, Labor, and Pensions, will be questioning RFK Jr. and Trump's pick for Labor Secretary. The caller contacted Cassidy's office about his support for those specific nominees, and also if he would be supporting Patel, but they did not respond. Cassidy's decision has gotten it much tougher Wednesday when Louisiana Treasurer John Fleming announced the primary challenge against the incumbent. Folks, remember, he was all tough when he thought Trump wasn't coming back. Is he still going to go with the leftist Republicans? Is he still going to vote to help the Democrats and the media start off Trump's second term in a negative way? I think this is something that you and me, folks, he can't afford it. Okay? He can't afford it. He can't afford to do what I'm telling y'all. Okay? He can't. Now, if he thinks he's that smart, if he still thinks he's smarter than God, and I think he believes that, then let him go. Let him go for it. He's already got all the nails in the coffin. If you want to put dirt on it now, let him put it on there. By the way, one last thing. Today is National Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day, 1941. And we don't want to forget the United States citizens that died and the war broke out. And they hit us. Japan hit us. And, of course, being a nice country, we nailed them back. But we don't want to forget that. As a father-in-law was in a boat out in the ocean when all that was taking place. So I know my wife and her family members, they know how close it could have been. He could have never been here. They wouldn't be here. But it's just a remembrance, a day to remember. I actually got to go to Hawaii, and I got to go out there. And, you know, you're going out there thinking, well, let's just go and look at something. But it's so surreal when you go out there. It's eerie, man. It's just eerie to go out there and imagine. And they got all the history there. If you've never been, it's worth a trip. But, you know, Pearl Harbor, we ought to never forget Pearl Harbor, just like we ought to never forget 9/11. We just shouldn't. And so to our soldiers and to the nurses and to the people that were on that island, and God bless you. And the people that fought the war after that, God bless them. A lot of those people are not around, but their family members are. They heard the stories. And so our prayers go up for the family members. Anyway, we got to take a break. God bless Pearl Harbor survivors. God bless the men and women who fought that war. For you and me to be free. All right, got to take a break. You're listening to The Moon Griffon Show. With 5 Louisiana locations, I always make it a point to visit Superior Grill when I'm traveling in the great state of Louisiana. I love the food there. It's authentic Mexican food with a Louisiana twist. Their menu has all your favorites: nachos, quesadillas, enchiladas, tacos, fajitas, hand-cut steaks, and the best margaritas in the state. You can go to Superior for lunch or dinner, and folks, you're going to thank me for it. My lovely bride and I eat at Superior Grill every chance we get. They're on Line Avenue in Shreveport, Government Street and Highland Road in Baton Rouge, St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans, and on College Saloon in Lafayette. I'm talking great food, great service, and great margaritas. The best Mexican food with the Louisiana twist is found at Superior Grill, Shreveport on Line Avenue, Baton Rouge on Government Street and Highland Road, New Orleans on St. Charles Avenue, and College Saloon in Lafayette. This is Moon Griffon. I'll see you at Superior Grill. This is Moon Griffon. My good buddy Jeff and the folks at Hudco Roofing and Exteriors is Louisiana's premier professional roofing contractor, specializing in residential roofing services. Remember, your roof protects everything, you and your family, and most of your possessions. And that's where Hudco Roofing comes in. These folks aren't just your average roofers. They're the #1 roofing company in the state. Whether you need a repair or brand new roof, Hudco Roofing has you covered. Hudco is a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master and takes every roof all the way down to the decking to make sure there are no hidden damages. Hudco Roofing is also a state-certified installer of the Fortified Roofing System, and that's a big deal. Anywhere in Louisiana, you can get a free roof inspection and quote from Hudco Roofing. Go to HudcoRoofing.com for quality workmanship, premium products, and unparalleled customer service. This is Moon Griffon. I trust Hudco Roofing of Louisiana, and so should you. HudcoRoofing.com. That's HudcoRoofing.com.
Do you crave? All right, folks, let's get started. Parents, thanks for coming. As many of you know, I'm Coach Mather. Tonight I want to talk about the season, of which I only have one expectation: that everybody gets stronger. When I say get stronger, I'm not referring solely to physical strength. Sure, we'll be in the weight room, we'll be running stairs, but we're also going to focus on developing mental toughness and grit, because those are the characteristics that allow us to achieve greatness both on and off the court. So, how do we develop those things? By getting comfortable with a challenge, by cultivating the confidence necessary to overcome adversity in all forms. That's why I coach. That's my purpose. Every member of this team can lean on me, and I'll teach them how they can lean on themselves and each other.
This message presented by the LHSAA and the Louisiana High School Athletic Directors Association.
This hour of the Moon Griffon Show is brought to you by Champagnes, located in the Oil Center. Champagnes, going the extra mile.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. It is a pleasure and great to be with you. 844-766-6607 is the number. If you'd like to be part of the program, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. By the way, I meant to mention this. I actually put it in the third hour. Yesterday, Brett Degro, I think I'm saying that right, of Walker, Louisiana, was our Cane River Pecan winner. I wanted to let y'all know because I don't think I announced it in the during the first 2 hours of the program. And I wanted to make sure that y'all know we did give away one. I got a text from somebody else that won one, an email, should I say. And, man, they said they already had them in. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was like 2 days before they had won. So, anyway. All righty. All right, Louisiana Public School enrollment. Lowest level in decades. This is the stuff that we've been working on it for 30 years ago. We would have never been there. Louisiana public school enrollment is lowest level in nearly 2 decades. New state data shows as families chose homeschooling, non-traditional school, and the state loses population. That's the biggie. Just under 677,000 students attended state public schools. By the way, that number was over 700,000 just years ago. 90% of the school districts have less kids there now. marks the, now listen to this key. Remember we had Bel Edwards for 8 years, and some of you people, the good governor. He wasn't worth a crap. He hurt us in every department. And by the way, you see where they might cut Medicaid. They cut Medicaid spending, okay? The federal government's getting ready to make a lot of cuts. If they cut federal Medicaid spending, watch the weeping and gnashing of teeth, all put on us by Bellboy. So it says right here, an overall downtick was slight. It marks the 8th straight year of decline. 8th straight year. Trivial question, folks. Who was the governor for the last 8 years? This takes us through 2023. Who was the governor for those 8 years? Bel Edwards. Out-migration numbers ticked up the last 8 years. We lost jobs. The only reason they talk about jobs coming back is because they're coming back from COVID. 8 straight years. This guy never mentioned education with the exception of teacher pay raise, okay, and taxes. That's it. We shedding students because we shedding people. We shedding jobs. People not working here. They leaving. Nobody even cared about it. We just move along. Good old boy network, get theirs. People Bella was patting him on the back. He's making money on the Green New Deal. He set up himself to be a multi-millionaire. I'm just giving credit where credit is due. It says 8 years. Who was the governor? Who was the leader? Just asking, folks. I'm just stating the facts. Fewer students mean less funding, leading districts across the state to shutter schools in recent and warn of additional closures. By the way, folks, if you're losing people, you have to start taking these schools and putting them together, school districts and putting them together. If you're not going to create a great economy, that's what you have to do. Steve Procopio, president of PAR. I don't think it's a death sentence, but I do think it's something that everyone needs to really focus on. Hey, Steve, I've been focusing on it for 30 years. Nobody listened. He says it's a big concern. Really? Wow. But you know what has grown? Stark contrast, homeschooling. Homeschooling has grown. Louisiana, whose population is shrinking faster than almost any other state, lost more than 84,000 residents from 2020 to 2023. I'm going to ask the question again. Who was the governor between 2020 and 2023? I want to know. This is not a trick question. Bel Edwards. And all we ever heard was, Bel fixed a $2 billion budget deficit. And Bel was good in the hurricanes and the flood. He was the governor. He had no choice. But when you look at everything else that we had to change, I'll say it again. Raise taxes, more federal money, Medicaid expansion hurt us. If the federal government cuts Medicaid, and they're talking about cutting back on Medicaid because it's just you can't control it, what's going to happen to the state that Bel set up? He put us in the wrong direction on steroids. He kept the good old boy network train rolling. That's all he did. Ran around, flew all over the world, talking about he was going over here to fix insurance. Remember when he flew over, what was it, a visit with Lloyds of London? And Saints just happened to be playing that week. And he was going to come back and find out how to lower them insurance rates. Where's that report? When did he ever provide that? He didn't. Horrible governor. Absolutely the worst governor we ever had. By far. Bobby Jindal's starting to look better every day to me compared to Bel Edwards. 84,000 residents from 2023, 150,000 from 2016, Bel's first year to 2023. Losing enrollment in schools, losing residents, losing jobs. It's the Bel Edwards deal. His approval numbers ought to be about 25% if people were smart enough to at least look at what he done. The drop-off stems from people leaving the state and having fewer children. Homeschool's growing. Why ain't that growing? They didn't worry about jobs. You know? You know why private school enrollment's declined too? People are leaving for jobs. Principio Cade Brumley said the drop in enrollment isn't necessarily an education issue, and I agree with him. People leaving the state, and he's right. They're leaving the state because we had a governor for 8 years who was horrible and didn't give a damn about one thing, raising taxes and making sure his lawyer buddies got filthy rich. Did Bel Air was lower insurance car rates? I could make the statement that we had the highest increase in insurance over the last 8 years under Bel Edwards, and I know you got no stats in front of me, but I bet you our insurance rates have skyrocketed under Bel Edwards more than anybody. It'd be easy to make the argument. Brumley added, encouraged Steve Landry and the legislature to take steps in the right direction. Reduce crime, strengthen the economy, improve education changes. He believes slow the population loss. Those are the things we have to collectively fix, and I'm optimistic we're going to taking those things on right now. Look, folks, if Jeff and the legislature would do the right thing, it would be easy to get out of Bell hell. And that's where we've been. We've been under Bell hell. That's what we've been under, folks. That's what we've been under. Bell hell. 8 years. I inherited a $2 billion budget deficit. No, you didn't. You voted for it. That's yours. And it wasn't $2 billion anyway. It was about 1.1. The other $900 million was what they wanted to spend for his buddies and his friends, who made a killing. Trial lawyers made a killing the last 8 years under Bel Edwards. Made a killing. That guy didn't change. He didn't try to help insurance. He didn't try to help anybody with the insurance. And I'm not talking about cut him a check. He didn't try to get insurance companies to come here. He didn't try to get companies to come here. He lied about those. He talked about a helicopter place in Lafayette that never came. They went out there and cut ribbons. He talked about with TXC technology in New Orleans. 2,000 jobs. He ran commercials on it. It never got over 200. I think somebody's bought them out. It's a small company. You know? He talked about this business and job. None of that came true. Bell lied. And I guess that's, I know honor code means something different in the military, and he should be honored for his service. But in politics, his honor code is, I'll lie so quick you won't even know it would hit you. That's just the fact, Jack. That's who he is. This is his record. This is on his watch. Okay? And Jeff and the legislature has a tough hole to try to get us out of this. And Bel Air was stuck it in us, man. But don't worry about Bell, folks. He's got Green New Deal deals all over the place for him to make a lot of money. And he's going to make a lot of money. I'm hoping Donald Trump would shut that crap down. I pray he shuts it all down, every bit of it. So we'll see. All right, we got to take a break. Last break of an hour, 844-766-6607. Don't forget, someone from the Tax Foundation will join us coming out of 10 o'clock break, talk about what they did do good. And we'll talk about what we still need to do. All that and more. Don't go nowhere. You're listening to The Moon Griffon Show. I've been bragging about Dino Hardwoods for a long time. A good friend, Charles Altman. They do an excellent job. And if you're looking for unique or hard-to-find hardwood lumber, plywood, and molding, it's Dino Hardwoods. That's where you need to go. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com. Trust Dino Hardwoods for all your hardwood lumber and cypress needs. With the holiday season fast approaching, as you know, a timeless handmade gift using quality lumber by Dino just means more. With 3 great locations to serve you now, Broussard, Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana, and now he's expanded in Tyler, Texas. Folks, there's something for every discerning woodworker at Dino. Go to DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com, and check out the unique and hard-to-find hardwood, lumber, plywood, and molding that you can't just find anywhere. Charles Altman, trust me, is not a better man in the business. He knows what he's doing, and he wants to service you. DinoHardwoods.com, DinoHardwoods.com. Hey, folks, if you worry about your smile and your teeth and you need some cosmetic work, I got the guy for you. And then there's Dr. Bruni with over 20 years of experience.
Hey, Dr. Bruni here with Pearl Dental Group. Are you struggling with missing teeth, failing teeth, or uncomfortable dentures? Our same-day full-mouth implants can transform your life in just one visit. Using 4 to 6 implants, our patients leave with a permanent new smile in just a few hours. Our world-class facility and experienced team utilize the latest technology, including 3D imaging and digital smile design to deliver stunning results that look and feel natural. With our in-house lab, we can complete your entire implant process from start to finish in one location, saving you time and money. If you're ready to rediscover the joy of smiling and chewing with confidence, contact us today.
Pearl Dental Group is the one you need to know. PearlDentalGroup.com. Trust me, you want to smile again and you want to see them beautiful teeth? Pearl Dental Group is the one you need to know. Go to PearlDentalGroup.com, PearlDentalGroup.com.
Christmas time.
Hi, y'all. Welcome back. It is the Moon Griffon Show. Great to be with you. 844-766-6607. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. Hey, I'm going to jump gears just a little bit. This is, I kind of been laughing. You know, I love following college football. And I follow it. I never said I was an expert on it, but I'm not an expert on politics either. But I never said I was. I've never made that claim in my whole life. But I kind of laughed. I listened to a lot of sports shows and stuff like that from time to time. And so the college football is going to the 12-team playoff. And so I think it's almost hilarious to watch what's going on. Forget transfer portal and all that. Somebody not interested in college game, I get it. But they may understand what the playoffs are. So they went from a 4-team playoff to a 12-team playoff to include more people. Now, remember, the college playoffs, it used to be a championship game. Well, it wasn't even a championship game at first. It was everybody was attached to these bowls, and you played, and then AP and the coaches poll, they would pick the champion. Then they came up later and said, we're going to put 2 teams, and they came up with the BCS. Okay. And they came up with, we're going to put the 2 best teams in the championship game. And if you recall, LSU won a championship one time because, and I think it was under Les Miles, they had 2 losses. They were 10-2 or something like that. They had 2 losses. And they didn't think LSU could, and I don't think LSU played in I could be wrong, but I don't think they even played the SEC championship game. But that's beside the point. So they decided to pick 2 teams, okay, and make those 2 teams play in a bowl game. Well, bowl games were still important to play. And so we did that for a while. Then we went to, by the way, when they picked, every time they picked those 2 teams, there was weeping and gnashing of teeth and people crying and bickering that this team should have been in and that team should have been in because there's no perfect formula. And the bickering would go on and on. When they did just the coaches picked it or the AP picked it, the bickering and hollering and crying would go on. Just follow me on this. So we go with the 4-team playoff. And guess what? The bickering and crying that these 2 teams should have been in, this team should have been in there. We saw that last year. Florida State was undefeated. They lost their quarterback, and they put Alabama in, and they shouldn't have been in. And forget Alabama. I'm just using them as an example. But all we heard was crying. Florida State should have been in, and all this arguing about who should have been. No, Alabama should have been in. Florida State lost their quarterback. Oh, neither one of them should have been in. It should have been another team. And on and on and on and on. So we went from coaches picked it, AP poll picked it, and then we got 2 teams. They picked 2 teams, and that wasn't good enough. Then we went to 4 teams, and the bickering, the gnashing of teeth, same arguments. No arguments have changed. Who should be in, who should be out, that team shouldn't be in. We beat that team, we ought to be in. And the whole thing's crazy. So we go to 12. And I'll never forget, because me and my brother talk about this. I talked about this with Walker. I hear sports guys love the 12-game playoff. So we come into the 12-game playoff. 12-team playoff, 12 teams. Guess what's happening? There's more teams bickering, more teams crying, more teams bickering, more teams are mad at it, more teams are upset at it. I mean, it just don't ever stop. Now this team should be in there, but this team didn't play anybody, but this team beat the top 25 team. But this team's playing better now, but that team beat that team, so you can't jump them. And you ought to see it now if you're not watching sports. But if you are, I'm about to pull my hair out because I'm laughing, going, this is hilarious. This has gotten to be funny. There is no criteria, really. You could have a 12-team playoff with teams like Boise State, Indiana, SMU. Clemson's usually been good, but, they hadn't been that good. But they can still get in. Arizona State and Iowa State. And the goal was always to be the best 2 teams and the best 4 team, not the best 12 team. But that's not the goal. That's not the goal at all. The goal is resume. It's not who the best teams are. Because if you said right now in a 12-team playoff, we want the best teams, Indiana's out, Iowa State or Arizona State would be out, Boise State would be out, Indiana would be out. You know what they'd do? They'd put Alabama, Ole Miss, and South Carolina, 3 SEC teams, right in there to take their places. And then you might have the 12 best teams. But I mean, that team don't belong. They got 3 losses. They played a hell of a lot better teams than this other team. I mean, it's all subjective. And it's the same arguments. We're arguing about the same things with 12, and guess what they're talking about doing now, Walker? 16. And when they do 16, you think there's going to be teams sitting out going, well, we should have been in there. We beat LSU, and LSU's in there. It's the same thing. In other words, there ain't no perfect system. A few years ago, Walker, they put TCU in there. Remember? TCU had a good year. I'm not saying they didn't deserve it. That's fine. They had another team sitting there that really played teams that if they would have played TCU, they would have been 14-point favorite. Now, TCU upset Michigan. I was shocked. They didn't feel too well when they played that Georgia team, did they? Folks, it's all subjective. So I don't let it get me up or down. I don't care who gets in. I guarantee you every year you could point to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 teams every year that ought to be in there because they're playing better. They would beat this team over there. You realize, Walker, I know you saw it. You know what the top 4 teams may look like? Let's just say Texas beat Georgia. And Oregon wins, they number 1. So that's 1 and 2. Or Georgia beat Texas, whatever, 1 and 2. And then they got 4 teams with a bye. You know what other teams are going to get the byes? SMU and Boise State. Just telling you, SMU and Boise State. I can think of a half a dozen SEC teams that might not make it could beat them, including Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. I'm just telling you, it's just funny to watch the tripping out. We got 12 teams that solved the problem, right? No, it didn't. It created a worse problem because there's no criteria. When they did 2 teams, that team over here should have won. That team should have been. Last year, you know who got cheated the most out of the playoffs? You ready, Walker? My opinion. You had 4 teams, remember? You had Michigan and Alabama. You had Texas and Washington, right? The team that got knocked out last year was a team named Georgia because Alabama just beat them in the SEC championship game. They got knocked out playing the 13th game. They were 12-0. They were one hell of a football team. They're the ones that got cheated, not Florida State, Georgia. But you know what? That's my opinion. But it's no different than what they're doing. It's. I'm telling y'all, and I love college football, but it makes me want to not watch it sometimes, just to watch the craziness. Now, by the way, the people that are tripping out, of course, are the schools and the fans. Because if the goal was to pick the 12 best teams, they'd let everybody play, and then they'd go pick the 12 best teams. And that means a conference like the Big 12 or the ACC, you say the SEC, whatever, or the Mountain West, they might not get a team that year. They might not be good enough. But I'm going to tell you, you go to 16, you're going to have the same problem. Go to 32. Remember the NCAA basketball tournament? Walker, you won't remember this. You realize that thing used to be 32 teams? Then I think it went to 48 or 54. Then it went to 64. Now it's 68 because we had 4 or 5 teams or 6 teams that should have got in. Now we got playing games. That's 68. Just telling you. It's gotten to be, I'm actually laughing at this thing now. That's how funny I think it is. That's what I think. Anyway, it's kind of funny. But it's the same argument. Same argument we were making when they were picking 2 teams and then we were playing 2 teams and we were playing 4. Same exact arguments. Unbelievable. Anyway, I got to take a break. I can't believe I even talked about that, but I did. We'll be right back.
Did you know?
News Talk 96.5 KPEL, Brobridge, Lafayette, a Town Square media station, broadcasting from the Matthew James Tax Pro Studio.
It's a report going over well on Wall Street. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Stocks rising with the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 on track to close the day at record highs after
the November jobs report beats expectations.
Fox's Lillian Wu.
Hiring bounced back last month, with employers adding 227,000 jobs.
That is up from just 36,000 jobs in October. The unemployment rate, however, inched up last month to 4.2%, a 10th higher. President Biden in a statement says unemployment has been the lowest on average in 50 years during his administration, calling it progress for working families. President-elect Trump is getting ready to take over next month. He just posted on Truth Social he keeps backing his defense secretary nominee.
Pete Hegseth is doing very well. His support is strong and deep, much more so than the fake news would have you believe. He'll be a fantastic, high-energy Secretary of Defense.
Fox's Bill Malugin reading the Post near the Trump estate in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Pete Hegseth responded to that saying, quote, "Thank you, Mr. President. Like you, we will never back down."
Hegseth has called sexual misconduct and other allegations an attempted media takedown of him. There's concern about drones flying over a Trump property and other areas of New Jersey and New York.
There is no known threat to the public at this time, says New Jersey's Democrat Governor Phil Murphy on X, after calling a briefing with Homeland Secretary Mayorkas. But now neighboring Staten Island joining the call to the FBI and FAA to investigate mysterious drone flights over its marine terminals. Reports of drones flying solo and in fleets started coming in nightly before Thanksgiving. Large military-style craft, prompting the FAA to close the airspace over Trump National Golf Club at Bedminster and Picatinny Arsenal.
That's Fox's Therese Crowley. A federal appeals court has just ruled against TikTok, upholding a law that could lead to the social media app being banned in the U.S. unless TikTok breaks ties with its Chinese parent company amid concerns about TikTok users under surveillance and China manipulating content. America's listening to Fox News.
Trump's victory doesn't mean our financial worries are over. Far from it. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul here. For the past few decades, I believe our nation's economic foundation has crumbled, all due to Washington's addiction to spending and currency manipulation. These problems won't vanish overnight, and that's why I've supported gold IRAs for years. These accounts let you hold tax-advantaged gold with no penalties or taxes when you transfer your IRA or 401k. Birch Gold Group is the leader in gold IRAs. They understand true wealth preservation means breaking free from the system. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs by texting the word PROTECT to 989898. That's PROTECT to the number 989898. Secure your savings with gold today. Text PROTECT to 989898 now for your free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch.
Court-appointed special advocates, or CASA, are specially trained volunteers that help secure safe homes for abused and neglected children. Don't let these innocent victims slip through the cracks of our complicated legal system. Get involved today. Call CASA at 268-5111. This nonprofit organization moment brought to you by News Talk 96.5 KPEL.
Every day at 5 p.m. right here on News Talk 96.5 KPEL, it's me, Joe Cunningham, with The Joe Cunningham Show, offering you news, analysis, and commentary you're not going to get anywhere else. The big news stories of the day, and even some of the headlines you may not be aware of. It's your local, state, and national news coverage from a local perspective right here. Everyday News Talk 96.5 KPEL. Check us out, The Joe Cunningham Show, every day at 5 p.m.
The views expressed in the following show are those of the hosts or hosts only. They do not represent News Talk 96.5 KPEL or Town Square Media.
Hi, all. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. It is great to be with you today on a beautiful Friday, 844-766-6607. Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. Let's jump gears. Louisiana, special session. Felt like they made a lot of progress toward helping the state get competitive. We're joined by, from our friends at the Tax Foundation. It is a senior policy analysis Manish Bhatt joining us. Manish, how you doing?
I'm doing great, sir. Thanks so much for having me.
No, thank you. First of all, give a little background on the Tax Foundation so people understand who y'all are. And then I want to jump into what do you think Louisiana did, what's good, and maybe some things we have to do up the road.
Of course, yeah. The Tax Foundation is a nonprofit, nonpartisan tax research and policy organization. The foundation is based in Washington, D.C., but I live in Dallas, Texas. And so we have a number of remote employees. We work at the global, federal, and state levels, and we work with lawmakers, administration, and policymakers on the principles of sound tax policy.
Yeah. So Louisiana, we have a special session. Y'all were involved in ranking this. I know they've been involved with talking to y'all. What can we do? What can we do to compete with other states? So tell us, what have you found in Louisiana's new laws that were just passed? Of course, we have a little work still to do on a constitutional amendment. It's got to be voted on in March. But out of what we've done, what do you think was really good, that's positive, that could really get us competitive?
Absolutely. So each year, the Tax Foundation, the team that I work on, we publish a report, and that report ranks every state's tax code against every other code in the country. And what we're seeing is those codes that are the most competitive are seeing net positive migration, meaning people are moving to those states. And those codes where there's just a lack of competitive advantage, people are leaving those states. And everyone in Louisiana knows, unfortunately, people are leaving the state. And it is a beautiful place. It's a wonderful place with great people. I love to be in Louisiana. But there was room to grow. In our most recent report, Louisiana's overall ranking was number 40. And this special session was ambitious. And as you said correctly, sir, there's still room to grow and work to do. But I'm really happy to report that had the reforms that were passed out of the special session been in place when we published our most recent report, the ranking would have risen from 40th to 26th overall. Mm-hmm. That's a huge gain, and it's a competitive gain. Yeah. Now, there's still work to do, but let's look at what was done. Okay. The big ticket items. The legislature reduced and flattened both the corporate and the individual income taxes. When you think about taxation and you want to draw in businesses and workers, you want to retain and recruit new people into the state and keep the talent that you already have, having a competitive, flat, low-rate income tax structure yields really positive dividends. And that's what this legislature did. That's what this administration pushed for, and it's a net positive for Louisiana. The franchise tax, which businesses are all too familiar with in the state, will be repealed in a future year. That is a tax which is unnecessarily burdensome. It's inefficient. It taxes businesses regardless of profitability. It taxes them on a net, sort of on their net and accrued wealth. And so that'll roll off the books in a future year. And as you said, there will be an option for voters, I should say, to allow parishes to opt out of taxing inventory. Another pro-growth competitive move, which will signal to the market just like all the other reforms, that Louisiana is indeed open for business. It was a hugely successful special session, and there's still work to do.
Let me ask a quick question. When you look at where we are now, if we just stop and we don't do the rest of the work, how do we compete with Texas and Tennessee and places like that? I mean, if we stop now, like you said, you got to go somewhere. You got to get to the direction. But if we just stop and we don't take second, third, fourth steps, do you think we're really going to be competitive with Texas and Tennessee and people like that if we don't do anything else? If we just declare victory and we don't do anything else?
That's a great question. Answer is no. The reality of it is no other state's stopping. Every other state is looking around the country. Tax competition is real. And I'm not here to tell you that people move only because of taxes.
Sure,
but
I get it.
Absolutely a part of the equation.
Yeah. Manus Bat, special guest from the Tax Foundation. No, Manus, I asked the question because I stay on them all the time. And I always said one of the things I hate in this state, we do stuff and we say, well, we made a step in the right direction. It's the worst state. I hate that statement here because then we stop. And that's why I asked the question, because this is just a little shout out to the governor and the lawmakers. You got to keep moving. I've had lawmakers on from North Carolina and Texas, and they have had to fight for 15 and 20 years to keep moving the needle because you just made a comment. These other states are not stopping, and in a lot of cases, they're so far ahead of us. So that's why I was asking, what does this do now compared to other states if we just stop? And I don't think it doesn't move the ball like they want to if we're not going to keep moving the ball. And I think you would agree with that statement.
I wholeheartily agree with that statement. Yep. Standing still and stopping is essentially moving backwards.
Yeah, and I hope everybody's listening to what you just said. It ain't coming from me. It's coming from you, and this is your profession. Let's talk about a couple things or two or three things that we need to continue to do. Can you give us some things that you know we still have to do?
Absolutely. When it comes to sales taxes around the country, it's very clear that Louisiana has some real room to grow now that the rate is as high as it is. But you're not going to be able to reduce that rate until we get the number of exemptions that are out of the tax code. And I understand taxing personal services is difficult for some people to swallow, but if we can expand the base in Louisiana to include more end user goods and services, get rid of some of the exemptions, then you can then work to reduce that rate. The other thing is Louisiana is not an outlier in this regard, but Louisiana does tax a number of business inputs, meaning that a business is using a product that they purchase from another business to produce a good or to deliver a service. When you tax that, a business-to-business input, you're essentially putting the end cost, you're actually defraying the end cost onto the end user, meaning costs are just going up on the final user of the product. And so that's just an uncompetitive, inefficient way to use your sales tax. So if we can broaden the sales tax base, include more services, and get rid of these business-to-business inputs, it's a good thing. There's some other things as well. I mean, if you look at the corporate code, there are a number of exemptions in the code that are keeping that rate unnecessarily high. If we can get rid of some of the exemptions that preference and privilege certain industries over others, certain companies over others, the code will be more efficient. It'll welcome in new businesses. And you know what it does? It also says we're willing to evolve as the economy evolves. So we're not going to be held back by old and outdated incentives that might not make sense in today's economy.
Let me ask you another question. I'll ask it this way. If you're a company and you're looking at all the southern states, I'm just going to say southern states because that's where I live. You still think Louisiana's going, yes, that's where we ought to do business? So you think Louisiana's getting better? Let's see what else they do. What would be your opinion if you were a business looking at our state right now?
Well, one of the biggest achievements for businesses that came out of the special session was this passing of what we call permanent full expensing or bonus depreciation, which allows certain businesses to take an immediate expense for a qualifying purchase right away. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to be depreciating an asset over time at 100%. This started in 2017 at the federal level. What it essentially does is it says if you buy and invest in the state, instead of depreciating that investment over time, we're going to make it profitable in year one. That is a hugely positive, pro-growth tax reform. The only other states that have done it are Oklahoma and Mississippi, and now Louisiana at 100% is huge. So that I do think Louisiana is open for business. Let's get some of these other things worked out, and the state's going to be even more competitive.
Yeah. I want them to realize, from the governor to the legislature, thank you. Look, what Jeff's taking on is a mighty big take on in this state where we're all about state taxes and state government and federal government, and that's it. And that's why we got such an out-migration problem. We got to have jobs created here to change what's going on in the state. So to that part of it, I hope that's a big, big move in that direction. I really praying and hoping we are. But my fear has always been we get this done, we pat each other on the back, we have fun, and then we don't do this next step because all those states you're talking about are still making adjustments on what they want to do.
Everybody's now looking at Louisiana. Everyone's looking at Louisiana. They want to do what was done. And the sense I'm getting from everyone that I talk to in Louisiana is that there's a real recognition that there's work still that's
good,
outstanding. And I think it's good.
No, I think that, matter of fact, I emailed the governor, texted him, and he said, well, we got a ways to go. And that's what I don't want people to forget, Manus. I don't want to forget that we still got work to do. We got insurance problems here like you wouldn't believe, but that's nothing to do with the tax foundation. I'm just saying we got some other things to do, but that's the next big battle. That is a gigantic battle here is the price of insurance. It's the liability vehicle insurance is outrageous here, and we don't make as much money. So all this stuff has got to be again. It's a big fix. It's a big fix here, but pray we can do it. Manish, we appreciate it, man. God bless you, and thank you for your info.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, Manish Best, of course, with the tax foundation, we moved way up. Like Jeff and him said we did. They had got in touch with me to get on, and, of course, we wanted to have them on. The work's not done, far from it. Hopefully, we're getting away from the Bell Edwards-type government. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show.
As Louisiana's only fiberglass manufacturer and fabricator, C-Safe Fiberglass Grading and Structural Systems has provided corrosion-resistant products to the Gulf Coast for over 45 years. Our fiberglass grading, cable trays, and structural shapes are ideal to replace corroded, rotting building products and can be custom fabricated by the best fiberglass craftsmen in the world, right here in Lafayette. Contact C-Safe or visit our website at csafe.com. That's SEA like the ocean, SAFE.com.
With 5 Louisiana locations, I always make it a point to visit Superior Grill when I'm traveling in the great state of Louisiana. I love the food there. It's authentic Mexican food with a Louisiana twist. Their menu has all your favorites: nachos, quesadillas, enchiladas, tacos, fajitas, hand-cut steaks, and the best margaritas in the state. You can go to Superior for lunch or dinner, and folks, you're going to thank me for it. My lovely bride and I eat at Superior Grill every chance we get. They're on Line Avenue in Shreveport, Government Street and Highland Road in Baton Rouge, St. Charles Avenue in New Orleans, and on College Saloon in Lafayette. I'm talking great food, great service, and great margaritas. The best Mexican food with the Louisiana twist is found at Superior Grill, Shreveport on Line Avenue, Baton Rouge on Government Street and Highland Road, New Orleans on St. Charles Avenue, and College Saloon in Lafayette. This is Moon Griffon. I'll see you at Superior Grill. This is Moon Griffon. The sun has never raised its rates, but your local energy company sure has. Solar Louisiana can install residential home solar systems with huge battery storage, or they can add batteries to your existing system. If there's an outage, you are sitting pretty with all the electricity you need. Imagine an electric bill so low, you can pay it with pocket change you find in your couch. Solar Louisiana has the experience you need to make the right decision. Online at solarlouisiana.net. Your energy independence company, Solar Louisiana. If you're selling a business, Atlas Foundation Repair, 800-256-1010. Louisiana-owned Atlas Foundation Repair, 800-256-1010. Call Tony Arpino. I have known him for years. Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show, Matthew James Business Tax Reduction Hotline. We're joined by my friend Tim Metcalf, Prejeans, and PreJones.com and Dino's Pizza, Dino'sPizza.com. All right, Tim Ola, I know it's your time of year. It's your time of year not to breathe. The food business rolls, dude.
I am busy. You know that. The holidays, it's food and spirits. We have Marcello's Wine Market on Johnson as well. So that's keeps me running, man. Keeps me running.
Oh, you're saying people drink during the holiday?
A little bit. They tend to imbibe, and buy gifts. And making gift baskets yesterday. And, so.
What you got today, Tell me.
By special request, we were just talking about it. You that's not the pizza of the month you normally have in December. I'm like, no, we brought back the tsunami. People were just
But you just had that a few months
ago. September. And people kept bugging me for it. So
a tsunami?
Or asking, not bugging. Nobody bugs me. And we put it back on for a limited time. And it may be, if it sells as good this month as this September, it'll probably make the permanent lineup. So this is the second test run on it.
What are people saying about it?
They love it. It tastes like sushi, right?
It does.
It does. And it just, that was the problem. My son created it. I ate it. I'm like, it's amazing, but we sell pizza. We're not in the sushi business. And every crew member would go, Mr. Greg, when are you going to make that pizza again? So I had to pay attention to that.
Since you said all that, tell everybody what's on it.
Fried shrimp, snow crab, cheese. You got an olive oil base, fresh jalapenos. We have 3 sauces. We have eel sauce, the yum yum sauce, and the horseradish cucumber sauce, or wasabi cucumber sauce. It's good, man. Mozzarella cheese.
I'll tell you what makes that to me?
What's that?
It gives it that little zing because it's got a little sweet, but the yum yum, the shrimp, jalapenos are good.
Fresh sliced jalapenos.
Them jalapenos are good.
They're good.
Now, you got to like jalapenos. If you don't like jalapenos, I get it. But them jalapenos are good.
Yeah, and if you don't like jalapenos, we don't have to put those on there, but, man, I'm telling you.
Well, you ain't got enough of them on it. You can pull them off.
That's right.
And you ain't going to eat that big pizza by yourself anyway. I don't think you could.
I'm afraid of you if you can't. You'll be a scary man if you can't.
So what else you got?
I brought wings. We have the big Raging Cajun game down the street from Bertrand tomorrow, and the age-old question: bone in or boneless? So I saw you and Walker both hit that bone in right away. But
the only ones that are he learned from me that bone in's always better than no bone.
It's always better.
And a fish, and I don't care what it is.
Sometimes it's easier in the vehicle to eat.
Let me tell you something. This is not a complaint. I'm just bringing this up to you. I wish Prejean's for me. Now, you can say, well, Moon, I'm not a big enough customer, but I am a big customer.
No, you are.
No.
You want a bone-in fish.
Catfish on the bone. Oh, my God. By the way, you're probably better off not, because it's not going to be a request. That's going to be somebody older wanting that. I can tell you that right. Young people, they want filets. That's what they grew up on. Right. I grew up on bones, I still think a fish tastes better than a bone.
Nibble on the tail a little bit in the
fins. Eat the whole thing. What you mean, nibble? I'm talking about eat it. But but I tell people all the time, there may be somebody in this area that does the bone in, but that's me.
Not many.
No, that's what I'm saying is you can't do it because Moon wants it.
No, right.
You'd have to do it because it's being requested.
For sure.
You're not going to put that pizza.
I had another property. We did a whole fish, and the whole fish. And people would really make me.
I like the whole fish.
They would make me go back in the kitchen and cut that head off because he's looking at me. I couldn't.
Oh, my God. Well, you ain't got to put the head on it. It wouldn't bother me. Yeah, I mean, I eat shrimp with the head on. I eat crawfish with the head on.
That's what I was saying. But they were like, hey, mostly female. Can you take it back in the kitchen and cut the head off?
But when I say whole fish, it's one without the head. And what I'll do is this little place behind me.
You score it a little bit so it cooks thoroughly.
They got a seafood market behind us that sells all this. And when I go, if I'm cooking fish for them or shrimp, and I want to fry, and I don't fry much, but if I did, I always grab me a couple of them catfish and I cook all this stuff and I sit in the back and I fry my little whole catfish and eat them.
And chew on them. Yeah.
Chew on the tail and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And you got wingless too. I mean, boneless.
Boneless, right. Yeah, I bring both. You can come by tomorrow before, during, or after the game and try and make
I tell you what,
decide the age-old question, bone or boneless. Get an order of each and let me know.
Well, I don't have to decide. I've already decided.
Right?
But it's probably old school. Always good, Tim. But far as people, Tim, you still have time for parties and catering and all that stuff?
We do have some availabilities. We get in touch with my people. And they'll call the other properties, and we'll probably be able to fit you in one property or the other. Weekends are really, really tight. Weekdays, evenings, lunches. We can make it.
When you say tight, you talking about people coming to the restaurant? I'm talking about catering that you would go cater.
Oh no, we can go cater. We can always do that. We got the manpower to do that.
You might not have as much.
Right.
Might not have as much room in the restaurant as you had.
Correct.
Okay. So does that stay like that pretty much? Yeah. You open Christmas Eve?
We are open till 4 p.m. Christmas Eve, and we're dark Christmas Day.
And then the day after, they probably boom because people are tired of eating all the food leftovers at home.
100%. 100%. Nobody wants to eat turkey. That's why we don't do a turkey, cranberry, gravy pizza, because you don't want that. You don't want that.
No. It might be good. It might be good in April.
Maybe so, yeah. Thanksgiving in April.
All right. Dino'sPizza.com and PraiseJones.com. It's real simple. All your menus, I know you got a lunch special today, and they may be different at the different locations.
Normally different. If they are the same, it's a coincidence. So we don't communicate. Yep. Each property does the manager at each property decides what they're going to run the special.
I was in the catering business for about 8 or 9 years, and just catered.
Mm-hmm.
This time of year was nothing to have as many as 4 or 5 jobs on Saturday night.
Yeah.
On Saturday.
Yeah.
And you lose your mind.
People don't want to go in. Yeah, because they all need you at the same time.
Oh, no. And let me tell you something. They don't want to know why you had 4 ahead of them. They want to know why their food's not right. You got to get it right.
You got to get it right.
Dino'sPizza.com, PraiseJones.com. Tim Metcalf family do a great job. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
If you are a loved one or suffering from addiction, listen to Springfield Wellness Center's founder, Paula Norris Metayer.
We help people through their detox with minimal withdrawal symptoms. Even though it's a 10-day treatment, I look at the first 4 or 5 days as the brain restoration piece. And when the brain restoration piece turns on, that's when we have patients go, wow, a light bulb turned on or a switch was turned on. All of a sudden, their prefrontal cortex is working. And their midbrain is also working. They're not craving. They're thinking clearly. They see things clearly. And they have more confidence.
Put your addiction behind you. Call Springfield Wellness Center, 225-755-9566.
Just call us. That's all. And we'll be waiting for you.
225-755-9566. 755-9566. Springfield Wellness Center. SpringfieldWellnessCenter.com.
Nestled in gently rolling hills in North Louisiana is a place that produces the finest Louisiana wines around, Landry Vineyards. This place is phenomenal. Not only are they passionate about growing wine grapes and making Landry Vineyards wine, they also have cottages and RV sites you can rent, tours, and live music on Saturdays and tastings Monday through Saturday. Available in over 650 stores throughout Louisiana, I encourage you to visit and try Landry wine direct from Landry Vineyards. This is another great Louisiana company that has my full support, and they are Louisiana certified. A red blend they labeled Bayoutage, Blackberry Merlot, Cabs, Rosé, Petit Syrah, dry and sweet whites, and many, many other wines. Learn more about their wines and their vineyard online at LandryVineyards.com. This is Moon Griffon. My lovely bride and I love the wines from this great Louisiana company, Landry Vineyards, and so will you. Go visit their beautiful winery and find them in your local grocery store. If they don't have Landry Vineyards wine, ask and ask again. LandryVineyards.com. Woo, good wine right here.
Chestnut Brothers. This place has a pulse. You hear it in the canopy. Feel it in the ground. Life, fully illuminated, engulfs you. From the birds singing in the treetops above to the tiniest insects in the soil below, you take a deep, cleansing breath, filling your lungs with the essence of the forest. Now, imagine it's all gone. Healthy, life-giving forests reduced to nothing. No singing birds, no lush canopy, and water and food in short supply around the world. Time is running out to protect our forests, and without our love, they can and will disappear. It's our choice. Love it or lose it. Help protect our forests. Visit World Wildlife Fund at wwf.org/love.
I asked what kind of family she wanted. She said, a family like yours.
Learn more about adopting a teen at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
This hour brought to you by the Matthew James Tax Pros. Find them online at MatthewJamesTaxPros.com.
Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Always great to be with you. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Don't forget giving away Cane River pecans. We'll do that in the next 20 minutes. If you want to be part of that, just email me, moon@moongriffon.com, moon@moongriffon.com. Maybe a couple of national things real quick. So Barack Obama, and I call him Satan's brother because he is. He's really evil. He's an evil guy. He can talk they want to. They say that because he's a Democrat, he's black. Nothing to do. Watch him. Watch what he says. This guy has been a big, big problem in the United States of America. So he's going back to radical ruse of how what you've been doing in government and what the Democrats have been doing in government is attacking through the DOJ, through government entities. They did it through health care. Attack. Remember, it's Barack Obama who said, we just need 2 news sources, and that's it. That's the facts. And he controls them. He also wants a military police force in the United States of America. United States-wide. Look at Black Lives Matter. They want to get rid of them. Perfect time for... So the Democrats have been doing a lot of evil things. Look at the elections they wouldn't investigate. I want somebody to put their hand on a Bible and tell me that Joe Biden got 15 million more votes than the last 3 people that ran for the Democratic nominee for president of the United States. 15 million mail-in ballots. The lies that came from Fauci, talking about pardoning these people, they hadn't been charged with anything. So everything Barack Obama says in this piece of what they've been doing, he's been a part of it. Biden, the Democrats, the leftists, the Soros people, was to control this country. They want to control you through the Green New Deal. They want to control your banking. They want to control your telephone. They want to control your life, what you eat, everything. They want to control you through the justice system. And these guys have been doing this. There's not a person with any sense that's been watching this doesn't understand that people don't want this, but they want it on us. So here's Obama warning those who rig elections and weaponize the justice system. That's what they did. But now he steps up because Trump's going to be the president. Now he's going to warn people about Trump, but he didn't warn us about himself or Joe Biden. That's what blows my mind. It's only about a minute. I may play it twice. Listen to the Satan's brother, Barack Obama.
There are going to be times, potentially, when one side tries to stack the deck and lock in a permanent grip on power.
That's what y'all were doing.
Either by actively suppressing votes or politicizing the armed forces or using the judiciary, the criminal justice system to go after opponents. And in those circumstances, pluralism does not call for us to just stand back and say, well, I'm not sure that's okay.
That's exactly what they did.
In those circumstances, a line has been crossed, and we have to stand firm.
Is that it? So, folks, did you hear that? This is exactly what Barack Obama and Joe Biden and the Justice Department has been doing. This is 100% of what he said. We got to quit allowing people because they want you to focus on Trump doing that. But in other words, if Trump's DOJ goes after somebody, rightly so, then he's going to say, look what they're doing. They're politicizing it. What do you call what Congress and the DOJ and them did to Donald Trump? What do you think Mar-a-Lago was? You think that was misusing the justice, the system, to go after him? It was 100% misuse of the justice system. If you listen to Barack Obama, Barack is a sick dude. That's a hateful son of a gun. He hates this country. He hates Jesus. He hates Christians. He hates this country. He hates the Constitution. That's Barack. Now, what Barack is doing is setting up anything Trump and him do. See, he's going after people. Dr. Fauci ought to be in jail. Adam Schiff ought to be in. These are the ones that ought to be in jail. Joe Biden's talking about, they claim they did nothing wrong. They take the moral high ground. Why you want to pardon somebody who hasn't been charged for anything? Because, folks, the media is right there with the Barack, the legendary Satan's brother. And they cannot wait anything that breaks, anybody that goes after anybody, all of a sudden, all you're going to hear is, see how they weaponizing the Justice Department. Look what they did with Hexpeth. Look what they did with every one of their mentions of anybody. They're going to do it with Pam Bondi. They're going to go after them. Democrats, folks, are the ones that are trying to take kind of a communistic power grab of the United States of America. They do it through the Green New Deal. They do it through the banking system. They're doing it through health care. Obamacare destroyed us. It hurt us bad. And Obamacare was on. You saw what Obamacare looks like during COVID. We tell y'all what to do. We're going to send you the money. You do what we say. You put on a mask. That didn't work. You get kids not to go to school. You make kids wear a mask. None of that. None of that was scientific. 6 foot distance made out of thin air. That's what they want. He's putting a Lewinsky radical ruse on. He's turning it over again. And he's talking about Trump and them because they want to be able to say, oh, see, they're going after us. What did Biden do? Biden said Trump ought to be locked up. They sent these DAs, district attorneys, and attorney generals from around the country. The DOJ, they put the J6 members in jail. And how many Black Lives Matter protests did they put in jail? How many they put in jail during the riots? Not many. It's what they've been doing. And what they're doing now is they setting up for Trump. They need him to fail. So everybody will run back to the sorry pieces of trashes, the Democrat Party, and I'm talking about their leaders, the party of filth and party of hate. This is hate. But Obama's going into his hate speech. This is hate speech. Because Obama hates this country. He hates it with a passion. And they hate Trump. And so what they're doing is setting it up so you'll go, well, they're going after people too. They did it too. It's totally different. The Democrats made up this stuff. The Russian collusion, all made up. All made up. That's why Biden may pardon people who didn't have any charges against him. This is unpresidential. This is unprecedented. This thing is ridiculous. That's what Barack Obama's talking about, folks. He's doing the Lewinsky ruse. Oh, y'all better not do this. But I'm going to play it one more time, Walker. The legendary Satan's brother, Barack Obama, this guy right here is more dangerous than anybody I've ever seen in the United States because the media and stuff all try to defend him every chance they get. Listen to his words carefully. This is every word, without interrupting. Every word is what they've done and what they wanted to do. They wanted to finish the job with another Democrat. Kamala Harris would have finished the job on us. Here we go.
There are going to be times, potentially, when one side tries to stack the deck and lock in a permanent grip on power, either by actively suppressing votes or politicizing the armed forces or using the judiciary, the criminal justice system to go after opponents. And in those circumstances, pluralism does not call for us to just stand back and say, well, I'm not sure that's okay. In those circumstances, a line has been crossed, and we have to stand firm.
You know what he's saying right there? Lines have been crossed. We got to stand firm. We better get ready to protest and fight and riot. That's what Obama's calling for. I'm just telling you, it almost looks like he's calling for disrupting the United States of America, which we've been accused the whole time. It's what they do. Remember, I told y'all years ago, if once all this stuff is set up the way it's set up, it's just like with illegals. You're going to call them to go protest too. You're going to call them to go be violent too. Barack Obama's slick, folks. Slick, slick, slick. Satan's always been slick. This is his brother. I'm just telling you, this guy is calling for this. This is what the man is calling for. Y'all going to do that? We're not going to back up. We're coming. And he'll sit back in his home in Hawaii and monitor it from there as other people will go and start stuff. I told you, they cannot let Donald Trump be president. Okay? They can't. They can't. If he's going to be president, and you think they care about this country, and you think they care about the economy, and they care about the moral values and the Ten Commandments and God and Jesus and the Constitution, they don't. They will destroy it. Sounds like to me there's a call to arms by Barack and saying Obama. They don't want, they claiming Republicans are going to do this. This is what they've done. They've already done it. Let's take a break. We'll be back. You're listening to the Moon Griffon Show. Been telling you about Schumacher Homes for a long time. Now, for a limited time, you can choose from 5 different financing offers and pick one that works best for you. Whether you're an active duty, military, or veteran, you can take advantage of the exclusive VA construction loan offer. You can lock in 30-year fixed financing for as low as 3.875. How about that? Looking to stay in your home and start construction right away? A stay in your home loan might be right for you. With this option, you can stay in your home during construction and not worry about moving twice. And for you first-time home buyers, we're not going to forget you. For a limited time, they're offering 30-year fixed financing as low as 3.875. Other financing offers include no-cost refinancing, conventional loans, and FHA construction loans. If you're thinking of building your dream custom home, there's no time like the present to start building. SchumacherHomes.com. SchumacherHomes.com. Let them build your dream home. They're building dream homes one at a time. This is Moon Griffon. My good buddy Jeff and the folks at Hudco Roofing and Exteriors is Louisiana's premier professional roofing contractor, specializing in residential roofing services. Remember, your roof protects everything, you and your family, and most of your possessions. And that's where Hudco Roofing comes in. These folks aren't just your average roofers. They're the #1 roofing company in the state. Whether you need a repair or a brand new roof, Hudco Roofing has you covered. Hudco is a CertainTeed Select Shingle Master and takes every roof all the way down to the decking to make sure there are no hidden damages. Hudco Roofing is also a state-certified installer of the Fortified Roofing System, and that's a big deal. Anywhere in Louisiana, you can get a free roof inspection and quote from Hudco Roofing. Go to HudcoRoofing.com for quality workmanship, premium products, and unparalleled customer service. This is Moon Griffon. I trust Hudco Roofing of Louisiana, and so should you. HudcoRoofing.com. That's HudcoRoofing.com. Taxes.
From the moments that shape our lives to those that shape our days, broadcasters are there, delivering the most trusted news that keeps you informed when it matters. We are your neighbors, a trusted voice, a lifeline. We are broadcasters. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on your local TV and radio stations. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
The entire world watched.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
And humanity saw that the sky was not the limit. Achievement. Pass it on from the Foundation for a Better Life at values.com.
Hi, hello. Welcome back. Moon Griffon Show. Great to have you back with us. 844-766-6607. I told you I had on coming on. Jason Isaac with our good friends from energy industry. Join us a little bit after 11 o'clock and what's going on with Trump and some of the nominees that's being done. Yeah, I had to play that on Barack because when I hear that stuff, the average person looks, oh, it's Barack. Barack saying the Republicans, they're going to be going after people. They're going to be going after people illegally. The Democrats didn't do that at all. And I don't want the Republicans to go after anybody illegally. I want the Republicans to do what's legally and lawful. Okay? And the reason I want them to do what's legally and lawful is because if they do that, some of these people are going down. They're just going down. And they need to. I mean, protecting Fauci? We had people dying. We're going to protect. This is how evil of a party this is. They're killing people through abortion. 65 million dead babies. They're telling 10-year-olds have a sex operation, and parents are believing that. They want boys to play in girls' sport. I mean, it's a sick party. And Barack Obama's for all this, every bit of it. You never heard him come out against any of it, did you? For him to stand. And, of course, this was one of his little foundations that he was talking about. So everybody there were leftist Looney Tunes anyway. Anybody that was there to see Barack speak at this thing, it was in Chicago, Illinois, and it was the Obama Foundation Democracy Forum. To me, it was a rally call. Hey, get ready. When Trump does something, we are not going to let him. We're going to fight him. And if we have to go in the streets, and look, Barack Obama has no problem with somebody going in the streets and getting hurt or getting killed. None. Because he's going to be in Hawaii in his mansion watching it on the YouTube. He won't be. You don't think Barack Obama's tough enough to go do that, huh? Hell no. I've talked to black men. They laugh at him. Such a wuss. But he got to be president. You heard Barack Obama talk about the military. They have totally screwed up the military for all their social ways of thinking. Just totally messed it up with their wokeness. He's talking about the military. He don't want the wokeness out. I just hope and pray that Trump is going to keep his toughness. I just hope he's going to keep his toughness when it comes to doing what we need to do. And that means moving forward. I think rough times early, great times later. Because there's nothing they're not doing. Joe Biden has 40 more days to continue to run the country for the Democrats. And don't think he's not going to try to do it, because he is. By the way, GOP senators who could block Tulsi Gabbard's confirmation took used checks from the defense industry. He wants at the helm of Office of Director of National Intelligence. Once again, it's not, and I said this yesterday, it's not the Democrats I'm worried about beating them. It's the Republicans. You got Republicans. Yeah. And so here they are, McConnell, Tom Tillis, Susan Collins again, Lisa Murkowski again, John Cornyn of Texas, Mike Rounds again from South Dakota. So I didn't see Psycho Bill on this one. Folks, they need to give Trump what he needs to win, for the United States of America to win. That's what we need. That's all we need. And I don't understand the Republicans not giving Trump who he needs. But if you're taking money from people, and that's what usually happens with lobbyists, you take money, you whiff that company, you don't really care what the facts are. Trump needs to win with his nominees. It's the most important fight we have right now, is Trump winning with the nominees. But once again, what good is it to elect dang Republicans if they're not going to stand up? But the problem is the fake Republicans, the Cassidys, the Murkowskis, and the Collins, these people, you cannot count on them. You know? DNC funded, facilitated, and organized the BLM Antifa riot. No, but that's what I think that's what Obama's call was. He's having this big meeting. Said, oh, no, you heard him. We can't step down. In other words, but he won't be in it. You ain't got to worry about Obama getting any bloodshed on him. You ain't got to worry about him getting punched. You ain't got to worry about him falling down or dodging a bullet. He'll be in Hawaii monitoring on YouTube. You know? You ain't got to worry about him, but I'm telling you what he's calling for. Folks, I said it. They'll never let Trump be president. Well, you were wrong on that. He ain't president yet. He's not president yet. I pray to God he's going to be president. But if he gets president, there's going to be nonstop chaos by the Barack Obama type, trust me. One quick call. Norman. What's up, Norman?
Really fast, Moon. You know, I've got a Moon speaks, Norman gets a question. I'm thinking of a question. We just talk about this all. You talk about this all. Party loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
To these people, Murkowski and these goons. What are you worried about the future of the country, or you just don't like Trump? That's a very simple question. Yes or no? Do you like Trump? Yes or no?
They don't like Trump.
Then you probably don't care about the country.
Nope.
Very simple. You know.
No, I think it is, but these people don't like Trump.
Yeah.
I told you, Bill,
Well,
look, our own great legendary state senator, Psycho Bill Cassidy, never dreamed Trump would be president again. So he said all those things thinking Trump was out. He outsmarted himself. And he's going to get pounded in 2 years. I feel very certain he's going to get pounded.
I don't know if I can say this on the air, but he licked the wrong orifice.
Yeah. Who am I to argue with a statement like that, Norman?
I'm just asking.
All right. Appreciate the call.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Okay. By the way, computer says Roger Haley of Shreveport, Louisiana, is the pecan winner. Roger Haley, Shreveport, Louisiana. Appreciate everybody. A lot of people want to win. I wish I could give everybody a box of pecans. I would do it. I would give every audience member a box of pecans just to say thank you. God bless you, and I appreciate it. All righty, that's going to wrap up this hour of the program. On the third hour, you can check it on moongriffon.com. Jason Isaac, my special guest. Jason does a great job dealing with American energy. We'll talk to him as the program unfolds.
For the absolute best in local Cajun food, check out Prejean's in their 2 locations in Carencro and Broussard today.